All right. Chris Casas here in Springs Real Estate. I've got your Coachella Valley market report reporting on all of the sales activity here in the Coachella Valley. I like to look at these numbers because it gives us a real good barometer of what's happening in a bigger picture valley-wide versus our individual communities and cities, which all perform a little bit different. So let's take a look at what Coachella Valley has been producing. And we're going to start off with looking at our February numbers to see how March has done, if it's increased or decreased. And then we're going to compare March 2026, or what we just experienced, to March of 2025 to see if this year is better or worse than last year. Let's go ahead and start with our February numbers. And here in February, there were 400 sales that took an average of 72 days on the market to sell at an average sales price of $728,000 at $475 a square foot. There were 836 new listings to make a total of 3,500 listings valley-wide. Now, how does that compare to this last March? Let's take a look. All right, as expected, our sales have increased. We went from 400 to 583 sales. Days on market dropped as well. We went from 72 to 68 days on market. However, we normally see an increase in our sales price and price per square foot as our seasonal vacation home sells, but it looks like those numbers have dropped slightly. So our average sales price have dropped from $728 to $683,000, and price per square foot has dropped from $475 to $462. Now, if you look at new listings are starting to increase as well. Last month, again, there was 836 new listings. Now there's 883. You can expect to see this number to surge as we go through our spring months and inventory continues to rise. However, valley-wide, if you look at it, it's only increased by 30 so units. So even though there's still a lot of homes coming on the market, a lot of homes are selling. So how does that look compared to March of 2025, or what was going on last year compared to this year? Well, sales have increased. Last March in the Coachella Valley, there was 509 sales. And again, there was just over 580 this year. Our days on market has increased, but roughly the same. It's just over 60 days on the market. Average sales price and average price per square foot have both dropped, where our new listings have also dropped as well. There was a lot more homes coming on the market last March compared to this year. So I'm not sure what's causing the hold up there, but new listings have dropped quite a bit. So our overall valley inventory is still less than it was in 2019. Now, where's the good news in all of this? Let's take a look at how many homes are selling. And the good news is, here in the Coachella Valley, we have over 1,000 homes in escrow as we speak. Here in just the small towns of La Quinta and Indio, there are 293 homes in escrow, meaning there are almost 300 sellers getting ready to turn into buyers to buy your house. If you're thinking about buying or selling, this is a great time to get in the marketplace. We are still at the leading edge of our prime selling season for our winter sellers and our winter buyers. And we are soon going to move into our spring and our summer selling months, which is another great time to buy and sell homes because inventory will continue to come on the market as our spring ends, and buyers will continue to come into the marketplace as they sell their homes elsewhere. So we will continue to see strong sales here for the next several months. So if you're thinking about buying or selling and you want to work with somebody that is out there in the streets hustling, studying the good numbers in the market, give me a call. My cell phone is 760-409-5549, or you can visit my website at www.chriscasas.realestate to learn more about me, my services, and how I can help. Thanks for watching. Bye. Now, if you're in the neighborhood of Indian Springs Golf Club, I'm going to summarize those numbers next. Here in Indian Springs Golf Club, I'm going to summarize our quarterly numbers. And the reason why I like to look at the quarterly numbers is that there's far fewer transactions to create some solid data to look at and to compare against. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be comparing 2025 to 2026 to see how this year is doing compared to last year. And then I'm going to look at 2019 to see what it was like prior to COVID. So here in 2025 in Indian Springs, in the first quarter, there were 4 closed escrows that took roughly 73 days that were selling at an average of $721,000 at $329 a square foot. And there was an average of 8 to 10 homes on the market. Now here in 2026, sales are the same. So we had the same 4 closings in this first quarter. Days on market dropped a little bit. It went from just over 70 to just over 50 days. But what's really unique about this, our average price per square foot has increased. That means our buyers out there are buying a more expensive home. They're spending more money on nicer, smaller homes versus larger homes at a discount. Now our average listings as well has dropped, so we've had just a little bit less. It's been a really thin market again, anywhere from 4 to 7 homes on the market any one time. Now how does this look to 2019, which would have been considered a more healthy market, a more stable market that was pre-COVID? Look at this. In 2019, there were 11 closings in the first quarter. And why? If you look at the inventory, there was 15 to 20 homes on the market at any one time. There was far more homes for buyers to look at and to buy on the market, creating more sales. Now days on market, a little bit longer, about 60 days, roughly the same. And then average sales price, look at this, $420,000. That is a $220,000 rise in valuation in the last 7 years. That is amazing. So if you bought in 2019, 2020, early COVID or before, you're doing really good. You got some great equity. Congratulations. And then our average price per square foot, of course, a bit lower at 209. But again, there are quite a few more homes on the market, which created more sales. So that's the great news. Our average sales price is up this year. Sales are about the same. So if you look at the Coachella Valley numbers, there is a lot of activity out there. We just don't have a lot of inventory here at Indian Springs. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, you want to work with somebody that is out there hustling, studying these numbers, that knows our seasonal trends, our types of buyers, when they come and go, and is out there doing their best for our sellers. I'm out there making sure I represent them in the best manner possible. So if you're thinking about selling a home, give me a call. I want to make sure you and your home looks the best. I want to represent you in the best manner possible. I only use high quality photos, drone pictures, 3D tours, and video to make your home look like $1 million home. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, give me a call, 760-409-5549, or visit my website at www.chriscasas.realestate so you can learn more about me, my services, and how I can help. Thanks for watching. Bye.